How does UKIP view people who follow Islam, then?
Well, people who follow Islam are all individuals, and you take a person on a person-by-person basis. Everyone is a clean sheet until you get to know them. It's not the people, it's the religion itself and what it teaches. I want us to have an honest discussion about what's written in the Quran, about what's written in the Hadith.
But you want internment. You want internment of known jihadis. Is that correct?
What's that?
I read that you propose internment of known jihadis. Is that correct?
Yes, well, let's discuss it.
Okay. How will you tell that someone is a jihadi?
Well, how do we know the 23,000?
No, I asked my question first, respectfully.
Well, however they are determining these 23,000, why are these 23,000 on the radar, and why are they still on the street?
Well, it's a bigger number than I've heard, but it doesn't matter.
23,000, then why are those 23,000 still on the street?
I think 23,000 is a little high, but so you don't think... What was the result of internment in Northern Ireland?
Look, this is not a similar situation to Northern Ireland. What I want us to do is face up to some harsh realities about the religious nature of this and to discuss tough measures, including internment. I think the public supports it.
What would internment achieve?
Listened to. The public must be listened to.
Anne-Marie Waters, what would internment achieve?
Well, it would take dangerous people off the streets for a starting point. This is the most important aspect, is protecting the public. We can deal with the difficulties afterwards. Our priority has to be protecting the public. Now, what I want to know is, why are we risking public safety? We shouldn't be. We must prioritise the safety of the British people. That is simply what I'm calling for.
And yet you acknowledge, do you not, that when it was done in Northern Ireland, it was one of the best recruiting tools the IRA ever had?
Look, once again, what are we supposed to do?
Do we not learn from history, Anne-Marie Waters?
Are we supposed to do nothing? Are we supposed to do nothing? This is growing and growing and growing regardless. Now, we are either going to sit back and wait and leave the public at risk, or we're going to take tough measures. There's no easy answer.
What would be achieved by dividing Britain, though?
My priority is... I'm not the one dividing Britain. I am answering back.
You don't think rounding up people because of their faith and putting them in internment camps is a rather divisive move?
I am saying we need to prioritise protecting the British people. Prioritise it.
But many of these are British people, Anne-Marie Waters. These are young British men. How is it protecting them to put them in an internment camp in Luton?
The majority of the wider British public is non-Muslim.
Sorry, what's the wider British public? What does that mean?
Can I... Sorry?
What is a wide... Do you mean white? Is that what you're saying? Wider...
No, I do not mean
what is wider? What does wider...
Peaceful Muslims, the wider British public who is not involved in jihadism, no matter what colour or religion, if they're not involved...
But do you not see that many of those are Muslims themselves, that they're not involved in...
And they deserve to be protected too. I said the wider British public that is not involved in jihad, regardless of colour or religion, deserves to be protected.
How is it protecting someone that their nephew is put in an internment camp?
It takes people who are a risk, who are a threat, off our streets. I also think the police need to be going out, rounding up these known rapists and taking them off the streets.
And you don't think they're doing that?
We are risking people's safety.
And you don't think that they're doing that?
No, they are not.
So what has Rotherham been, and Rochdale and Oxford and all the other trials?
This is a drop in the ocean compared to the number of rapists who are out on the street.
How do you know this?
I have walked around towns with girls who themselves have been victims of these gangs.
Well, I'm sure you've reported it to the police, haven't you?
He's one of them, he's one of them, he's one of them. I knew one girl who went to the police, gave names, addresses, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. These men are still carrying on with impunity.
Well, we must get details from you on that, because something needs to be done. When you say that some of Britain's large sections of inner city Britain have become ungovernable, what do you mean by that?
I mean, there are areas where there is no enforcement of law. There is simply no... Even police acknowledge this. There are areas where, for example, Muslim areas are just self-policing. Police won't go into them. Police don't go into them.
Can you give me an area of London? Can you give me an area of London?
We have Sharia. The problem is, no one is doing full research on this.
No, but I've just asked you, can you give me an area of London where that's happening?
No, I can't. I'm telling you, these are... No, hold on. These are people who come and tell us that this is happening. There are police...
Well, people tell me things every weekday. It doesn't mean they're necessarily true.
On on certain crimes. This is ungovernance. This is lack of governance. We are not enforcing the law. We're not enforcing it on FGM or on child marriage or on various other horrific crimes. That is ungovernance.
When you said you didn't like Islam, what did you mean?
I don't like Islam. It's perfectly clear. I don't like it. I don't like a religion that, in its primary text, says that I, a woman, am inferior and should be beaten. Why should I like that?
Well, that's a rather unfavourable characterisation of the faith, isn't it? That you should be beaten. I mean, certainly you can talk to rather misogynist policies, but 34
of the Quran. Do you know what that verse says?
I don't know it clearly as well as you do. I'd imagine you've probably got it above your bed.
So if anyone is preaching hate, it's directed